Sit back here so we can get in camera. Hi and welcome everyone. This is the Hobo Prepper and I am Friar Tuck. So today I have a special guest today. His name is Michael. You guys know that whenever I find people that are interesting, that are worth interviewing, I always put them up. So Michael, one of the first questions I want to ask you is, how long have you been homeless?
Just recently. I mean, around Christmas time.
So
some events took place because of things I got going on in my life that kind of make people pucker.
Okay.
And so basically it was their way out of sight, out of mind type thing, because some things that are going on, I guess, universally,
okay,
they're
so
not dealing with it very well.
Yeah, and so my next question to you is one of the things that really intrigued me about you is how you keep a positive attitude. Can you kind of give me that diatribe you gave me last night?
Yeah,
like, how is it that you stay positive in a negative situation?
For the longest time, I was a pessimistic person. Woe is me, or nothing's ever going to work, blase, blase. And life sucked. Like, nothing was getting better because I had no motivation to try to make it better. Then in 2017, I met a dude. It was funny. He was like, look, do right by me, you'll be straight. 4 years ago, things started coming together as I was putting everything together. Like, he asked me it was weird because he died 10 years to the day my ex-wife walked out on me. And I didn't believe in coincidences. And I knew there was more. So I changed my whole outlook. I quit doing a bunch of dumb shit. And I guess that old fake it till you make it. I put a smile on and I found a silver lining in everything. I got lost into my music. If it wasn't for bands like Five Finger Death Punch, Godsmack, Kevin Gates, Lil Wayne, all the music, because Five Finger Death Punch in a song, Brighter Side of Grey, they tell you, life isn't a game, it's a song. It's nothing more than the memories you make it. And I got tired of looking back and closing my eyes at night, playing this reel of nothing but just shitty memories. So I changed it. And I was like, everybody said, go find Jesus, go find this. I said, man, I'm just trying to find myself. And then as I just kept smiling, smile bright throughout my struggle, and it started taking change. Everything started kind of manifesting together. The problem I've ran into so much, it's sort of like the airplane, the stewardess says, exits here, secure your oxygen mask before you help somebody else. I started looking at all these people trying to tell me how to live my life, what I need to do. You need to go do this. Man, fuck all y'all. Put your mask on first, then come tell me how to live my life. Because I grew up in the South, and they always had this mantra: what goes on behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. We're like this home, we're like this in public. And fuck that, I'm me all the way through.
Okay.
And so basically, it's sort of like being hot. If you work outside all day, you know it's hot. It's the South. You got this guy who's, man, it's hot. By the end of the day, you want to choke the dude because he's done made you even hotter because I know it's hot. Bitch, quit talking about it. So I started using that analogy for everything in life. Like, somebody told me, oh, life is nothing but lessons and blessings. Truth is, everything is a blessing, because even the people who knock you down are the ones who motivate you to get the fuck back up, to show them, hey, whoa, you told me I couldn't? Watch what I do. Point blank period, this world is yours. And, as things progressed, I always had something going on with the man upstairs. And it's been interesting because Easter Sunday last year, I was down at my spot that I always went. Every morning I go see sunrise. Every afternoon I went and watch the sunset. And one day I'm sitting there, hey, look up. Huh? He said, look up. Ever since then, you've seen it. I can't look down.
And so one of the things that I find interesting about you is that you're trying to get, you have a TikTok channel, but you're trying to get on YouTube and do that. So what is this mission that you're on, that you're so motivated to do? Like, what is it that motivates you to keep going?
Truth be told, one of my favorite bands, Stone Sour, and a song Going Sober. Corey Taylor says, shatter all your legends in your head So I sat back and I really took an analogy of all my legends. I grew up, man, fuck, everybody wanted to be like Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon, you know, the guy who could pop his whole shoulder back into place and all crazy as fuck. Yeah. So I put on his persona. Let me tell you what, my shoulder dislocates right now. I can pop it out. And if I pop it out and you try to hit me or let me hit it into a door, please knock me out. He's full of shit. That shit hurts.
Okay.
So I started paying attention to my music. Like, dude, I feel for every musician's pain because I can relate to it. But the sad fact is they tell a beautiful story, because if it wasn't for the pain they went through, they would not be on stage singing.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't know, ever since I was a kid, me and God kind of had a thing going. I knew through absolutely anything, for some odd reason, he always had my back. I did not grow up in the church. My parents were Sunday religion people. You know, no disrespect Christians, but most Christians go to church on Sundays. But I hate to break it to them, even the devil can wear a suit and tie, smile and take your ties and shake your hands, because some of the worst people in this world are the self-proclaimed Christians who are going to help. Now it's really funny, because as my stories progress, I was named after two of the most prominent names in the Bible, Michael and David. David was forgiven for everything he did. I mean, that was God's go-to dude. Michael the archangel. I always thought, you know, so it gave me hope in a dark era. You know, the archangel Michael. Well, when I was 11, I caught a vision of the casting out. Got it tattooed up on me. Of course, it was a bad idea, because you're not supposed to get tattooed. God don't care about tattoos. Trust me. Me and him got a good relationship, and a lot of people who are distant with me now, it's because they see how good of a relationship me and my man upstairs have. Because as the Sunday people tell me, you need to go to church on Sunday, I tell them, I go to church every day. When two or more are gathered and speak his grace, presence, and glory, that's church. Anybody who's around me knows I speak that man's grace and praise. The reason I keep going with it is because over the years, something that rang true to me, I was like, hold up. Why do they keep saying all that's done in the dark will come to light? Why is all the dark come to light? Well, a 13-year-old girl I met, a friend of mine's daughter, nicknamed Satan, because she's a horrible kid. The day she met me, she come outside and brought her Bible out. Now, I've never read the Bible. And as you as a witness, you've heard me spit it. I can spit it better than most. And she said, read the first paragraph and the last page. I'm like, okay, I'm a spirit that hovers over the water. He went, okay. And then the authority over the bright morning star. Well, theoretically, if God's the brightest light you'll ever see, that would be the sun. Just theoretically. Easter Sunday, when a voice, and I'm not crazy, well, I'm crazy, but I'm not schizophrenic. When a voice told me, look up, I was like, man, you crazy, I got blue eyes. My son, look up. Easter Sunday last year, about a few days after Easter Sunday, because I'm going to be late to my own funeral. I was late to my own rising, I guess, whatever. I looked up, and I can't look down now. So apparently the man upstairs has got some unique things he wants me to talk about. And since then, that's kind of how I became homeless, because, well, I was working at Lighthouse Point Road in Wakulla, a 7-mile stretch in a national reserve. The clouds are beautiful every day. The sun always following me around. I had my employer call me the day after New Year's and say, hey, we're going to have to let you go. And this is Gene Smith at Paget's Asphalt in Crawfordville, Florida. Call me up and let me go from my job because of what God's doing in my life is too much of a distraction. Now, theoretically, you can't do that, but right there is when I knew I had some people on the fence, because if you're watching a book that you live by your whole life, this man's 80 years old. He loves the Bible. He just denied something God's doing in my life because he's uncomfortable about the simple fact of there's a lot of misconception about what happened to old boy on the cross.
Okay.
You know, and so right now it's on my heart, basically, following my journey, getting it out for the world to see, not only the gracious, the miracles that God bestows upon us. I defy all laws of scientific whatever.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, And so, really, I'm a foolish ass boy chasing a silly ass dream. I believe this world can be changed. I believe it can be changed with one random act of fucking kindness at a time, because here's the thing. Holding a door for somebody and tell them not to run, because when you hold the door for somebody and they, oh, let me hurry up, my luck, they're going to trip, fall, break the leg, and then they're going to be like, damn, if you wouldn't have held the door for me, I would have broke my leg, then now they got a reason to blame me. So hold the door. I don't care, let's be real, everybody's idea of beauty is different. If she's the ugliest woman you ever seen, go tell her she's beautiful, because you'd never know if she was being beat on that morning. You could change somebody's perception of their life. If you give me this much of your mind, I'll blow it, and you can attest to that.
Yeah. So my next question is to you is survival out here. What are the lessons that you're learning compared to being housed up?
Lessons are real simple. It's just like the Bible. For those who've read it, I've never read it. Is a really it's like a blueprint of how life is. Okay? Apparently, you want to make God laugh? Tell him your plan. You want to make that man laugh? Because me, since a kid, I wanted a house, I wanted a kid, I wanted a wife, I wanted to be a family man. I had that, but it wasn't with who he wanted it to be with.
Okay.
So he had to break me down a little bit, because one thing I have noticed on my journey, oh God, I'm in a bad time. Oh, I'm homeless. I'm on the street. Oh, please God, help me. Please God, help me. Please God. Bam, everything turns. And then you're doing good, right? You forget all about God. Oh, look what I did. Look what I did. I hate to break it to you. You go and knock your ass down. Very few times I go to church. The one sermon I do remember, he said, sometimes God takes you and smacks you a little bit. He has to break you down and remold you into what he made you for. Because what people forget is, before he breathed life into you, he knew what your full potential was. Or he, she, my God is a she. I've always related, but as my trail comes in, January 14th, I met a female. When she touched my hand, my whole life made sense. All the bad made sense. All the good made sense. And then I got into the theory of the twin flame. So technically, if I am, with what's going on with me, if things progress into what it is, what would that mean for her if she truly is my twin flame? Because I can show pictures, documentation, and just like everything, Destiny, Aaron. I see Destiny and her name in the clouds all the time. So it's been real interesting, because I'm never really, I was this guy who says, I know what I can accomplish. Then why don't you do it? I just don't feel like it. I had no motivation. I was bored. What motivated me to keep going? All those assholes who said I can't.
Okay.
All those people who said it's not possible, because in a book they told me to live by that. I keep mentioning I haven't read it for a reason. Because a lot of people who read it, it's sort of like White Man Can't Jump. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Remember when Wesley said, you can't hear Jimmy, you listen to Jimmy. Well, a lot of these people who are reading this book are more concerned about putting your safety mask on, your oxygen mask on, because they think they're good. Great movie that you can find on YouTube is Sunday Rapture. It says most of the people who go to church on Sundays and do all that dumb shit 6 days a week aren't going to, that gate narrows at the beginning and the end. So a lot of those who think they're good to go. I went to church the other day. You've seen a little bit. Hey, Mr. Pastor guy, whatever the fuck you is. And you talk to you about your man upstairs. He's doing some shit in my life, yeah. After everything I said, I quoted it, throwed it with scripture, showed him, look, this, that, the other. He says, A, it's not possible. B, we're waiting for Jesus. Why? When he comes back, it ain't good. Let's hope that the OG in the sky who wrote a book that tells you all the codes that we practice in day-to-day life. Nothing is no different from middle class, poor to rich.
Okay.
Because where people have misplaced everything, the biggest battle in life is 18 inches. Your head and your heart. Okay. Most people are diverted from each other because of what the stigma they have in their head. We walk around here. If you come to this area of Tallahassee, Florida, do not wear a backpack. because you're automatically deemed a homeless piece of shit.
Okay.
So what I like to do, even when I wasn't homeless, when I had a nice place, blah, 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 I got illegally evicted because of everything going on. I mean, real quick, December 1st, I got $6,667 because I got hit by a car. I paid 2 months of rent in advance. One thing I always wanted, I'd never wanted to be back in a place like this. Why? Because I worked so hard to get out of it. Paid 2 months of rent in advance, paid my power, paid my water, was down in Miami working. I come home Thanksgiving week, my power, my water, all my food gone. My food rotted, my power cut off, my water. They gave me some bullshit lie. I come home after work the day after, or Monday after Thanksgiving. Her dad's in the house. Say, oh, we sold the house, get the fuck out of here. Lost all my stuff, called the cops, they didn't even want to help me. Man, I got hit by a car in April. FHP ran my name and refused to file a police report.
Wow.
Hang on.
Are you gonna have to lift it up?
168 staples down my leg. 2 weeks later, thank God for Wakulla Sheriff's Department. Now, here's where I find it to be funny. If FHP refused to file a police report, then why did another sheriff's department, Captain Miller, the chaplain, which was weird, and Sergeant Krell or some shit, I'll figure out his name, they all came and said, Mr. White, we're going to fix all this. Don't mention our name in it. They wrote a police report a week later. Had a brand new job, been waiting for 3 months, $25 an hour, benefits, all that. Woke up to go to work in Tallahassee, could not walk. Had compartment syndrome from the internal bleeding.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, could not walk. So ambulance gets there. They think I'm faking. I'm telling them I'm not on no drugs. I smoke medical marijuana. He lifts me up and says, I hope you're ready to play this all the way. Let's go. I collapse. 6 hours of being treated like shit. They finally put me in an MRI and found out they were about to have to cut my leg off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were able to save it. 8 surgeries later.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my next question to you, this will be my final question to wrap up the video, is, we were talking about this last night in the group conversation about, when shit really hits the fan, when the world really falls apart, what advantages do the homeless have over people like me who are preppers, and the preppers that watch this? What advantage do we have, and what advantage do you think they have, or is there an advantage?
Well, if we got a few minutes, I'm gonna throw a couple of analogies out. How
Go for it.
Age-wise. Remember, I don't know about you, but I know some of the dumbass kids I was around school with. We always put ourselves in these scenarios. Man, when I get older, if I walk in and somebody's fucking with this person's kid, what would you do? Oh, I'd do da-da-da. Most people who prep their life to figure out what they do in a case of chaos, panic. I'm a rare breed. I love chaos. I function well in chaos. I did disaster relief for 15 years, though. I was always in the midst of the chaos. But you know what I love about chaos? It's the only time we come together.
Okay.
Think about this. It doesn't matter what you prep for, because nothing is what it is. Everybody says it is what it is. No, it's what you make it. Problem is, you can prepare for the end all you want. There's only one guarantee in this life. Death. Point blank period. We all gonna die. That's it. Everybody say taxes. As far as a prepping goes, man, you may be prepping for what you need to do to take care of yourself, but we forget there's more than just us. Everything looks cut and dry on paper, but when you actually get out there and start playing around in it, it's not. As far as somebody like me, I'm an enigma, or an extenuating circumstance, as I like to call it. I'm illuminated by a higher power, enlightened from walking the dark. I've been on both sides. Kevin Gates, by the way. I've been on both sides. Like, my parents, a good upbringing, all this, blah, 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 blah. But the people who've had it the worst, the ones who put that smile on, never know what kind of pain they're really hiding, or what kind of struggle they've been through. As far as it all goes, preppers, it's all logistics, logic, But when it comes to chaos, there is no logic. There is no reasoning. I have literally, being on the streets, I have literally seen some dude hit Flocka, and then hanging out over there trying to eat his buddy's hand. I had a dude wake up, Mississippi, out of Pensacola, Florida, with another dude's ear in his mouth.
Holy cow.
Done bit the dude's ear off. I mean, how do you survive stuff like that? That's what I was sleeping in. People who are getting high on drugs. You know, there used to be a thing, let's be real, people are going to do drugs, right? So the reason my father, Louis, not my real father, Mr. Fuentes used to say, you're a white light in a dark place. I learned how to do CPR because I got tired of seeing heroin addicts die. I used to be one. I got tired of seeing people who were smoking crack go off the deep end because they're not getting real dope. So I went into a life that I didn't want to, because the values that I taught, people are going to get high. Somebody's going to make money off it, but if you respect the quality of it, quality over quantity, and I ain't never trying to hurt somebody intentionally. And so as far as it all goes, I've been in situations, man, where, you know, some things I can't speak on, but I can tell you this. When you're trying to count money and somebody's head's getting cut off with a hacksaw because they were short money, it'll teach you how to not to panic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was in certain parts of life, I was further in than most. So yeah, you know, it really, whatever you got going on in here and in here, once you can harmonize them, all this other is bullshit.
Okay.
I mean, I've spoke with you. Me and you spoke. I'm sitting here like, why is this dude? But now I understand. You asked me why it's so important to me. Same to you. Why is this so important to you? I want to get my message out there. I want to share what I was told, that, man, all people need is this much hope. That much fucking hope. It's like that mustard seed. You know, have you ever seen a seed for a redwood?
No.
They're this big.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever seen a redwood?
Yeah. They're big.
That part. If you plant the right seeds, and no matter what kind of ground it's in.
Yeah.
With all the right elements of the universe, because let me tell you what, this world can change like that. And I've seen it. Yesterday, as we were talking, I was telling my story. And a cloudy day like this, the sun popped out and looked almost like even black. Mike, look, that. I was like, yeah. I mean, not to take away the fact is, I'm screaming for help. I got people pushing me away, exiling me, because everything they told me that book that they've studied for so long is materializing in my life, and they don't think I'm good enough. They think he's on drugs again. No, I'm not. I've done a lot of drugs. Trust me. I'm off them. I've done a lot of drugs, but I've never had no dope that has made me say, let's look up at the sun all day. I mean,
I don't think I've seen anybody get that high either.
Neither have I. And I've been around a lot. I've sold more dope than most people can lie about. Like, my favorite thing, like, no, this is just kind of a funny thing. I mean, I go where I went. I got all these cats. Oh, man, I'm moving bricks. I'm like, yeah, well, how much does a brick weigh? Huh? I said, how much does a brick weigh? You're moving them. You should know. 2.2 pounds. I said, how many grams are in a brick? 1,081. But they're moving all this, but they don't know all that. Most people who talk a big game have never set foot inside a stadium.
Okay.
And it's the ones who are the quietest, who just sit back and smile throughout their struggle. They've probably done a lot more and seen a lot more, and that's why they sit back and smile. I'm just glad to be here today compared to where I was. It's just sad to see something so beautiful taking place in my life that I can document and everything, and I can't get one person to fucking look at me to help me through this. As I'm slowly battling, going with it with my man upstairs, I'm getting destroyed by the people around me.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way of life. It's really, you got to see what your actual resolve is. And to answer your statement about why am I doing this, because I've been chronically homeless for about 20 years because of a work accident myself. I had a gun go off on me while I was loading a plane, almost killed an 18-month-old little girl.
I'm sorry.
Happens. But, you know, the thing is I know what's coming, just like you know what's coming. And you want to be able to get people at least some fighting chance.
That's it. That's the beautiful part. Because he tells us in that wonderful book, for the most part, don't ever go in the same way you come out. Don't let your right hand see what your left's doing. The greatest trick that ever fooled is convince a man he didn't exist. There's some other good shit he's got in there. He talks about extenuating circumstances. My question is this: if this is his greatest creation, and we are his whatever, why the fuck's he going to destroy this world? Because he's fed up with what we're doing to it. Noah did not just wake up in the middle of a drought and say, hey, honey, I'm going to go build a fucking ark today. You're stupid. No, I'm going to build this ark, honey, because it's going to flood tomorrow. It took him 120 some odd years. Something like that. I mean, and just like Noah, I know how he feels. Here's this crazy guy staring at the sun. First of all, it's cool as hell that I defy all laws of scientific probability. People are like, 10 years from now, your eyes are going to... It's 10 years from now. Have you seen it without a cloud in the sky? I can stare at it all day. It follows me. I was walking down downtown Tallahassee yesterday. It's dead in front of my face. Somebody's like, look down. Another kid, Josh Bradford, down in Panacea, Florida. He came up to me one day. He's like, hey, why would God want a king to hold his head down? Ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right, guys. Well, I want to say thank you, and Michael,
my TikTok?
Well, actually, you're gonna have to send me those links,
okay.
And I'm gonna put them down in the description. That way, if you want to follow him, if you want to go see some of the stuff that he's doing, you definitely can. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. You know how to help out the channel: like, subscribe, share. You could put something in the tip jar. You could go through the affiliate links, or you can come over to Patreon. Now, part of this video is going to be on YouTube as a teaser, but the full interview will be posted on Patreon. So if you'd like to see the full interview, come on over to Patreon. It's $5 a month for daily videos, which will get you access to this video, and it will, or $10 if you want to be able to have live stream replays as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Love.